You're getting a lot of shots a game, and you got a lot of net to cover, and not a lot of equipment to cover you. So,
well, we're looking at a kid who came in with no field lacrosse experience and has consistently won Defensive Player of the Year thanks to his goaltending ability. So that speaks to his leadership and speaks to his focus. All right, good start here. Acadia's got the ball to begin.
Just looking to set it up.
I think the keys to the game here for Acadia tonight are going to be ball control. Dalhousie's got a really deep squad. And Acadia's coming off a travel, so they definitely got to get focused right away, play their game, and put the ball in the net when they can.
I agree. And they're going to have to find a way to penetrate this Dalhousie defense because they are deep and they are big.
Looking at a strong defensive core in spite of losing quite a few players last year. That ball's out of bounds. For those of you not familiar with the rule, when a shot is taken and the ball goes out of bounds, whether it be the sideline or the baseline, the player, whether it be on defense or offense, who is closer to the ball gets possession. So as you saw there, the Acadia player was closest, and Acadia now has possession.
Looking to make something. They go behind the net. 15, and it's an errant pass. Dunbar at the midfield line, another senior, playing in his final regular season game for the Tigers.
Yeah, you got a kinesiology major in this guy. Halifax local, played a little bit of Division II in New Hampshire. Just been a leader on this team from the beginning. Got to start playing box lacrosse. Actually is contracted with the Salmon Bellies, or not the Salmon Bellies, the Porcoquitlam Adirondacks, I believe it is. Senior A, great lacrosse player, and you'll definitely see his box lacrosse tendencies as you watch him big body the players on defense here.
There's a save for Acadia's goalie on Chris Akari.
Now there's a player who's really improved. He actually started 3 years ago along with me, and you should see this kid on the off season. He started as a third liner, and look at this, we're 5 minutes into the game, not even, and he's already been out there.
And Akari plays a big role on the penalty killing unit for the Dalhousie Tigers because of his work ethic and his notable defensive skills.
There's something interesting you saw right there too. You got Stu MC comes up. I think it's McClone is his full last name. McClone, a defenseman coming up into the offensive end. How can you explain that to me there, Dale?
Well, what happens is sometimes the defense will come across onto the offensive side of the field because they do have a longer stick and they do have a better chance of picking up the ball and ultimately setting the pace for the offense. But what happens is the defenseman's only allowed to come across that halfway line if a midfielder or attackman replaces his position as the third defender on the defensive side of the field. So it's essentially an exchange between the the attackman in the midfield with the defense, and usually they go only over for about 15 to 20 seconds just to get the ball and get it into the hands of the short stick.
All right, so it sounds like you got to conserve the numbers on either side, right? That's where the offside rule comes into play.
Right. There must always be 4 people on either side of the field.
I got to say, that was a transition coming from box lacrosse to the field game.
Totally. Two completely different sports. But the stick skills from box really help you out in field, and there's a lot that you pick up in field that will help you out in box.
Yeah, two very different, as you said, but very complementary games. For those of you who are interested in getting into the sport or who play either one of them, we highly recommend doing either one. Here comes Jamie in tight. Good shot, and we got Paul Sadler down low. Paul's been a great role player on this team. Doesn't get the most playing time every year. Shows up to every practice. Always positive, and just a hard worker. We're glad to have him out. He's another one of our seniors, and we'll be sad to see him go.
Well, we wish him all the best in his future endeavors. And having spoken with Paul over the past couple of weeks, it seems he's just accepted a job offer at the renowned Deloitte Financial, and so he'll be making trails come next September to Toronto, I believe. He'll be working in the financial district there, so best of luck to Paul, and another shout out to him and his father.
Yeah, who's played a huge role coaching on this team as well. Yeah. You'll see him every night, regardless of how cold it is. He's always got his hands in his pockets, and he's ready to give some advice, so we're thankful for him as well.
And he was quite the lacrosse player in his day, right?
Yeah, I'm not completely familiar with the history, but and there's a tough pass, goes out the back. Now you'll notice this time the ball touched Dalhousie last, went out of bounds, and was given to Acadia. That's because it was a pass, not a shot, and the rule goes to the team that did not touch it last. You know, Acadia's a team that's really come quite a way. We're looking at a battle of kind of David and Goliath today, and the reality is Dal is in first, defending champions and having a great season thus far. Acadia is currently in 4th. And I say that instead of saying second last because this is a team that has definitely improved from last year. They were last place last year and have come a long way. And they could surprise you on any given night.
Totally. And this is a matchup that we'll likely to see next Saturday at St. Mary's, who are hosting the championship weekend for the Maritime University Field Lacrosse League. And as it happens, it'll be first place versus fourth place. So if the standings hold, and depending upon what takes place over the next week, then we'll see the Tigers taking on the Laxmen, right?
That's right.
The Laxmen.
The Laxmen.
Quite the pun.
It is. Yeah, for those of you familiar with AUS or CIS athletics, you know Acadia are usually the Axemen. We got a nice play on words for a good group of lacrosse players there. How about number 2 up here for Dalhousie? We got Wesley
Gardner.
Wesley Gardner. Now this guy, he's from from my neck of the woods. I'm an Alberta boy. He's just from Calgary. He's got some Junior A experience under his belt, doesn't he?
I believe so. And he's quite the player in both box and field. He represented Team Alberta at the under-19 box. Was it the box?
I believe it was box.
Anyhow, he's been a huge contributor to the Dalhousie lacrosse
Paul
team.
Sadler here.
Oh, Sadler almost gets a goal. Would have been his first of the year and a perfect day to get it.
Perfect. He's been blessed with a fantastic day for both this broadcast and the lacrosse game. And, you know, we can just hope it keeps up this way and the winds stay calm like they are now, and it should just be a great night.
Really couldn't ask for better lacrosse weather. For those of you who have come to any of our games before, we got a ball rolling in there. Any of you have come to any of our games before, you'll notice that usually on this far side of the field, you got the sun.
The ref just says, hey, don't kick the ball off the field. And
not sure. Oh, we got some soccer players. A lot of stuff going on over on this end of the field here.
Everyone's obviously trying to enjoy this day, to each their own, but we can only hope that they won't interfere too much with the lacrosse game because you know, this is a big game for both teams. Bit of a confidence booster for Acadia if they can put some goals on the board and keep it close. But you know, Dalhousie is by no means taking it easy here. They're looking to win and they're looking to set a goal differential that will ultimately beat St. Mary's.
Yeah, solidify that first place berth. It'll be a dogfight. Look, Dal is favored in that race, but St. Mary's is. When you look at a rivalry like that, it's one of those teams you never can count them out.
No. Sam Martin out here picking up the ground ball. Good Nova Scotian boy.
Yeah, we got. He's also another Team Nova Scotia lacrosse player, is he not?
He is. He represented the under-19 Nova Scotia field lacrosse team this past summer with fellow teammate.
With Lou and Patty Quinn.
Patty
Quinn, number 7, if you've seen him. Probably hardest shot on the team, if I might add.
Oh, he'll be looking to get a couple of those off tonight. And if he can get them off and they're accurate, they're probably going right through the goalie.
Yeah, you betcha. You know, Sam Martin, one of the 2 pairs of brothers that we have on this team.
Right.
Yeah, Sam and his brother Louie, a.k.a. King Louie, as we like to call him. Number 21, wearing the number I wore last year. I've got to say, it looks a little better on him than it did on me.
Face-off specialist.
great flow.
A role he's been taken up on, and he's really delivered in the past couple of weeks. He's been huge for the Tigers in attaining possession right off the bat. Yeah. And keeping the momentum up after goals.
Really found his niche. He's an all-around great player, but definitely has found a great spot to be an impact player on this team and be there every play.
And it's getting a little messy in there, but the Axemen look to be coming out with it. Or sorry, the Laxmen. 13 and with Sam Martin in hot pursuit. We'll be looking to get it clear here.
Got to give these Laxmen credit. We're almost halfway through this first quarter here. No goals on either side, despite a heavy onslaught and a great effort by the Dalhousie Tigers. They're really not letting much in so far.
No. A couple stops by the goalie, and if he can keep that up, he'll definitely be playing an important role for the Laxmen here.
No, that brings me to I think the keys to the game for the Tigers. The Tigers are very deep, very talented, both on defense and offense, but on offense particularly, it's going to be a matter of making those opportunities, not wasting chances, and just delivering on every shot. They have the ability, and they just need to make sure they make it happen.
And here we have the first line for the Tigers, complemented by the first set of attackmen, minus Dave Gagne, who we'll see coming on likely in a couple minutes. But they're looking to score a goal here. You can tell Coach Dunbar wants to take a lead here, and so we set out the troops.
Dwayne Davis with a rifle shot from a tough angle, but you'll notice he really likes that spot and will often pick top corner. Oh, great save by the goaltender. Bit of a dangerous pass there for you, those of you who don't know.
That's to the head.
That's from behind, and he will definitely be going off for a few moments to collect his thoughts on the sideline.
No call on that one.
That's just so there's two distinctions in lacrosse in the penalties department. There is a personal foul, which mandates a penalty where the player will go off, and then there's just a change of possession for any minor or non-personal foul, like the one we just saw, although that could have been called either way, I believe.
Yeah, I did jump the gun a little bit. When there is a penalty called, a flag will be thrown, much like football, so my apologies on that one. Here we got Colin Bieswanger, a perennial leader, organizational genius on this team. He's
captain of the Dalhousie Commerce Society.
That's right. Is he a third or a fourth year?
He's a fourth year, and this is his graduating year.
Yeah, we will definitely miss him on the team, both on and off the field. He's been a great morale booster and a leader in every single way.
Organizing the annual lacrosse boat cruise.
Absolutely.
Which is a great time.
Great time, great success.
Great way for the students and citizens of Halifax to come out and hang out with a great bunch of guys.
Absolutely.
And here we are. Got the Tigers on offense.
Ooh, had that pass been caught, we might have been able to see our first goal of the night.
And so we'll see Acadia come out and try and clear the ball again. And not much going on the defensive side for the Tigers and the offensive side for the Laxmen, but looking to change this now. Oh, and a strip by Dwayne Davis.
Yeah, one of his signature strips, the over the top.
And they push on the back there.
Davis played long stick midi in Trinity Prawling in upstate New York.
Yeah, second-year commerce student. It's interesting, you watch the way his hands are. He's so quick and so talented with the stick, and you know that must have come from dealing with that 6-foot-long pole for all those years.
I've had the pleasure of seeing him play with his long pole, and because he brings it out to practice every once in a while, and he's quite talented with that as well. So I agree, Dan.
He knows what he's doing. There's some of Mikey Cowell's first action of the evening, and that's something I wanted to comment on as well. Dalhousie always plays strong defense, and when you're a goaltender, you might go for full quarters without seeing any action. I've always admired his ability to stay focused, and there's a reason why he's got the #1 goals against average in the league right now.
Big power play coming up here for Dal.
And a timeout called by the Laxmen.
What do you say we go over to a little bit of lacrosse trivia there, Mr. Toyne?
Oh, sounds good.
Alrighty.
So
tonight's lacrosse trivia brought to you by Dylan Sunshine Toyne. He's a lacrosse guru, and he's going to help us understand the game a little better for those of you viewers out there.
So lacrosse has really it's been taken a liking to by a lot of athletes all over the world. It's becoming a global sport, one played both inside and outside, and making it an all-season sport in the case of box lacrosse. And so, recently we've seen a huge rising of lacrosse players in the United States in particular. But I'm going to ask you guys, which country boasts Canada as their national summer... Wow, I gave you the answer there.
Oh, well, that happens. If only that could happen in my biology midterm next come December, that would be great.
Yeah, well, I'll reinstate that question, but ultimately, which country boasts lacrosse as its national summer sport?
Well, I think we got the answer there. I mean, many of us know it is Canada, though it is played widely in the States. The question I have for you, though, Dylan, whereabouts in Canada and from whom did the sport originate?
Well, that leads on to my next question, but like you said, you've kind of phrased the question to me. So the Iroquois, or the Indians, or the natives of Canada, were the ones who originated the sport. It originated in, like I said, on the plains and through the forest, where it was played on a much grander scale. It wasn't limited by sidelines and restraining lines and whatnot. It was played, and players were up in trees and it was pretty brutal. And the brutality of the sport has somewhat continued.
Well, there's a reason that its Aboriginal name meant Little Brother of War.
Big goal by
First
West.
goal of the game. Wesley, that shot has been his bread and butter all year. Comes off the screen and just rips it from about 20 feet out. Not much you can do about that.
Snipe City, and the goalie's now tying his shoes up. Seems to be having a little bit of an equipment problem, but he's ready to go, and he's got to get ready to go, because usually that first goal, it triggers something in the Tigers, because they get hungry and they get...
Oh yeah, one goal usually kind of triggers a cascade, as you put it, very well. And I'll tell you what, Wesley really showing that box lacrosse accuracy. Many of you out there will know that box lacrosse boasts a way smaller net. It's only 4 feet by 4 feet as opposed to the 6 by 6 we see in field. And Wesley, we're looking at a guy with Junior A experience, and just had, I believe, his first Minto Cup this past summer.
And obviously he'll be a key player for the Tigers in the next 4 or 3 years, how many years he chooses to stay and play for the team. But pleasure to have him on the team. Great kid, humble, talented, and a hard worker, and that's all you can ask for.
And a true freshman above and beyond that.
Oh yeah.
There's Keegan Witten, Keegan the Bulldog as we like to call him. Another box player out of, I believe it's Brampton, Ontario.
Brampton, yep. And so he comes from a pretty powerful region in Ontario of lacrosse players, right near the Oshawa, where there's a lot of First Nations. And as we said, First Nations were the ones who invented the sport, and it's traditional over there. It's huge, both box and field lacrosse. They love it, and they're very, very good. I've had the pleasure of actually playing against a couple of Iroquois teams in my high school playing days, and you know, they like to stick with the traditional aspect of the game, playing with wooden poles as opposed to the aluminum and different materials we see, in making the sticks lighter and ultimately a bit more breakable. But getting slashed with a wooden pole hurts a lot more than the ones we've seen on this field.
Rob Harrison with a howitzer from the top. You'll see him take that shot quite often, and he likes to leave his feet to do it as well. Anyone who's played against him knows how strong he really is and how fast that shot really comes. So look for him to put a few in the net tonight as well.
We got the long pole going for a run. Nice pass up to the midi. Midi will take it across the halfway point and try and set up some offense here. They're ultimately looking to take the ball out of the Tigers' hands for a bit here, because...
Great stick work by Matt Fitzgibbons. This is another one of our senior players. We've only had the pleasure of having him on the team for 2 years here, but in his short period of time, he's provided a presence of leadership and maturity that we'd love to have in the backfield. Just a great pass to Keegan there at the midfield.
Witten with a fake.
You'll notice Keegan Witten wearing his traditional box lacrosse helmet, not wearing the field lacrosse style that you'll usually see, the kind that has the brim, like number 10 Chris Dubois has on at this moment. Some of these players just prefer the fit. Actually, the other day at practice, I saw Keegan try and put his helmet on, and it didn't fit him. He tells me it shrinks after every game.
Oh, he's great personality, great guy on the team, and again, talented player from Ontario. And you know, what he contributes on the field is just, you know, he's all behind the boys. He's the guy that you want on the team to back you up.
Oh my goodness. Let's just take a second here to really pay some respects to number 21, the Acadia goaltender. He has made some serious saves tonight.
Totally, and this is a tough sport to be a goalie in, but...
Well, it's the kind of sport where when you get a clear shot, it's almost usually a goal if you're within a certain range. And this guy's eyes have been sharp, and his stick has followed him well, so... Oof. Close shot taken by number 2 there. Great effort.
Acadia looking to tie it up at one apiece. This is a low-scoring game for the Tigers so far, isn't it?
Coming up to the last 2 minutes of the first quarter, Dalhousie really hasn't asserted their presence, and it's something they're going to need to do. This is playing right into Acadia's game strategy right now. If Acadia can get into even just halftime, only down 3 goals or so, that's nothing in a box lacrosse game. Ooh, and a tough missed pass by Matt Fitzgibbons there. He's going to want to have that one back. Watch for an extra effort here on defense for this play.
So we see the Tigers setting up in a man defense, but their poles like to stay close to the net, and they like to really cluster up that middle section in front of the net because they're confident Mikey's going to be able to keep the shots out from 10 to 15 yards, and that's what they do, and that's what they've done all year, and they've done a great job at it.
Who we got wearing number 8 here tonight? That's your number usually there, Dylan. Is that Dimmy?
Yeah, we've got Dimmy,
Sure is.
who's a great hockey player from what I hear. And there we go, the action. Number 2 ties it up.
All tied up.
And that's a goal that's a confidence booster for the Laxmen, and it's going to fire up the engine below the Tigers, I believe.
Oh, you know that Coach Glenn Dunbar's not going to be too happy with that.
Oh.
You got a perfectionist on the sidelines there who demands the respect of his players and demands their perfection. They try their darndest to give it to him, but we haven't quite gotten that so far. Yeah, going back to Paul Dimitric, this is his first year playing lacrosse.
Yep.
From what I understand, he played a little bit of time in either OHL or QMJHL, Major Junior Hockey League. Quite the athlete, he seems to have picked up the sport quickly.
And he's from New England originally, and New England obviously has a huge population of lacrosse players, being one of the hotbeds of lacrosse in the United States. And he came up to Halifax, to play junior hockey, and he's another great guy. And you see a lot of hockey players playing lacrosse, and Jamie Dunbar hits the post or the leg of the goalie.
That was another save, I believe. Number 21, really focused in between the pipes. King Louis with a nice shot from the top, just wide.
And here's the end of the first quarter. So far, low-scoring affair. Just a couple missed opportunities for the Tigers, and the Laxmen are playing great defense, and it's being reinforced by their goalie, who's having a terrific game so far. He must be proud of himself, as his teammates must be proud of him.
He definitely should. All right, well, for our first intermission here, maybe we can finish off the homage we'd like to pay to our graduating players. Sure. Again, before we get started, we just have to say, as 3 Dalhousie players, either on the injured or inactive roster right now, we've had first-hand experience with each one of these guys, and just can't say enough about the influence they've had in building the tradition and the prestige of this program. We're definitely going to miss them. We've had a chance to talk about Mikey Cowan, the beast between the posts. Doesn't let a lot of goals in, and you can guarantee he won't let too many in tonight after this quarter. Colin Bieswanger, we'll definitely miss him, playing hard on defense. Look for another strong effort from him for the rest of the game. Talked about Jamie, we've talked about Matt. Stephen Fife's a guy we haven't talked a lot about. Stephen was actually, when I first moved here to Nova Scotia from Alberta, he was the first guy I talked to. He was my contact man for getting in touch with the lacrosse program. And Fife is one of those guys who brings his A game, goes 100% every practice, every game, and much like Colin, he's just a real behind-the-scenes player. And he's battled back from a serious knee injury to, I think, lead our team and probably the league in goalposts this year.
Oh yeah, he's a couple games he hit like 2 or 3 posts a game, and those are shots he'd love to have back, but at the same time, he takes them in stride and realizes that they're only an inch away from being a goal. So, like you, Fife was my contact in getting involved with the Dalhousie Tigers lacrosse program here, and he's got charisma, he's got energy, he's got a lot of speed. You'll see him tearing down the right side and looking for that right-handed shot into the bottom left corner, and he's ultimately one of the captains of this lacrosse team, and he's one of the bigger leaders on the team as well.
Yeah, he will be missed. I don't know who's going to take his spot, to be completely honest.
No.
I don't know how you fill those shoes. I'm going back to what we were talking about earlier with that goal that we would like to take back from the Acadia Laxmen. I think we can expect an elevated defensive effort this quarter, and in particular, I think we'll see that from one of our graduating players, Kevin, what do you got? McKetton. I think anyone who's played with him will know why I use that little phrase. What do you think, Dill?
Kevin's definitely the most vocal player on the Tigers squad, both in practice and in the game situation. He's just got a booming baritone voice that carries across the field and lets everyone know that he's there.
Gets the adrenaline pumping.
One of the scarier guys on the field, but one of the friendlier guys off the field, and that's just a great attribute in the player. He brings 110%, and he's intense.
Exceptionally hard worker.
Yes. And he went to school he went to high school just across the harbor in Dartmouth, correct?
Yeah, Prince Andrew High from the Dart side.
Oh yeah.
He's brought the best of that side of the bridge over here to the HRM, and we're happy to have him.
Saw a picture of Kevin's Halloween costume this year. I'm not really sure what he is, but you know, he's looking good.
He's a presence. That's all that needs to be said. Another good shot taken from West up top. Just a narrow miss. Again, the goalie really standing on his head tonight.
There comes 2-4. Dodging checks.
And 2-4's got a strong stick. I've played against him. He's a real hard guy to get that ball away from. Uses his body much like Keegan, much like Jamie. And you can see from that box lacrosse helmet where he gets those attributes from.
Notice a couple players wearing tights, maybe expecting it to be a little colder than it is, but sitting here in a pair of pants and in a light coat, it's a great day, great night for lacrosse. And
Needs a hot chocolate now.
there's a goal for the Tigers.
And a great passing play. These two love to hook up on the field. You're looking at Chris Dubois, roommates with Dwayne Davis. Just a great backhanded pass. Dwayne, again, horrible angle, finds the twine.
Absolute lax rats. They love the sport.
They live it, they breathe it.
Both talented players and both big contributors for the Dalhousie Tigers in their first and second years so far.
Here's a guy over by Dwayne that we haven't talked a lot about tonight, Dave Gagne, number 9. Call him the Gazelle. Partly because of the delicious flow he's got coming out of the back of that helmet, but partly because as you watch him play, you'll notice the finesse, and it almost looks like he's going. It almost looks like he's prancing out there. But tell you what, he's got some accuracy on that shot, and although it doesn't look like it's going super fast all the time, puts points on the board.
And that's a wonderful face-off by Lou Martin, right into the stick of Stu.
Again,
Charlie, number 4.
Just taking control, playing his role, great.
Leading to it, and that's what you want off the face-off. You can get a fast break, and that's what the Tigers have gotten. But unfortunately, they've let it slide. Are now just trying to set up their spread offense or their circle offense.
Here we got
Gagne.
Here we got DG. Great fake. That's one of his signature moves right there. Fake back pivot, gets it up to Fife with that nice green head he's got on his stick there.
Krishna Kari coming in with a dodge.
Sure like to see him put a few points on the board tonight.
Fife?
Both of them.
Both. Yeah.
I think Fife has got a few tallies already this year. I'm not too sure about Chris.
Chris had
Sure does.
had a hat trick in the game against St. FX up in Antigonish a couple weeks ago.
Another
In a game
great
that was,
rivalry game.
a game that was just characterized by the storm that was both literally taking place on the field, but the scoring storm that was taking place and being instigated by the Dalhousie Tigers. They took that game something like 18-4.
I don't think I've ever been to Antigonish and played a lacrosse game where it wasn't pouring rain.
No.
Dwayne getting hit to the ground uncharacteristically. He's usually pretty slippery out there and tough to knock down.
We got Dunbar on the sideline trying to make his way back up to the top. He'll look to dish it to Patty Quinn. Patty's going to set it up the offense. We got Rob Harrison coming in off the bench. We got 2 big right-handed shots right here. And we're going to see it unload.
Release. Great shot, Patty Quinn. I was just going to say he's like the Jimmer Fredette of the MUFLL. Unlimited range, so you can look for him to unload and put a bulge in the onion bag just about anywhere this side of half.
And he knows it. He's got that shot, and he's just looking to get into his position where he can load it. Wow.
It's interesting when you look at the dodge patterns in this game. He really made his move a good 5 or 6 feet in front of his defender. And as soon as it was made, he just needed one step, took a couple more strides, and released.
Looks like Acadia might have had a bit of a miscommunication on defense there with the slide not coming in to take care of Patty Quinn. But like you said, Patty's a great player, and he'll find that open space if you give it to him.
Well.
We got a legal procedure here going Dalhousie's way. So the Laxman there. Lou Martin making sure all the equipment's in order. A lot of players on this Dalhousie team rocking multicolor heads on their sticks. It's part of the overall...
Oh, what a show. Was that a bounce?
Keegan Witten unloading an underhand snipe from about 20 yards out.
Whether it bounced or whether it found its way directly to the twine, that was about as top cheddar as it gets in the vernacular. And wow, that's the kind of thing you can expect.
Keegan keeping up his 4-game scoring streak, I believe.
Yep. He's usually good for, between 1 to 3 goals per game, which, brings me to our next point. What a balanced offense the Tigers have this year. There's really no one player that carries the scoring load.
Nope. But they certainly have those players they can rely on if need be. Got Dwayne Davis and Jamie Dunbar put up unbelievable amounts of goals last season, working well together with Dave Gagne. And just a deep offense and defense and goaltending situation for the Tigers.
A well-rounded team. You love to see a talented group like that bond and have the chemistry we're seeing this year as well. Backtracking a little bit, great face-off win again by Louis Martin, by the way, to start off this offensive cycle.
We're gonna have a legal screen on the Tigers there. You cannot move while setting a screen in lacrosse, just like many other sports, and it'll be a change of possession as a result.
Yeah. Again, no flag thrown, so no one in the penalty box. We haven't seen any penalties yet tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Saw one. Saw 1-2 Acadia.
All right, good eye, Ross.
I believe we saw a power play goal as well.
Well. Getting a little too carried away in the dialogue, not seeing the details.
Dunbar going for an over-the-head check, a dangerous check, but a successful check if you make contact for sure, and we've seen him make contact numerous times this season. Dwayne Davis will bring it in from up top.
Another great defensive
We're
effort.
looking at
Odd
the
man
fast
rush
break.
here.
Dave Gagne's wide open, but he doesn't see him in. He finishes off himself.
Great over-the-shoulder shot again. So talented when working in close, knows what to do, controls the body. Goalie had no chance.
No, he really didn't. And that first quarter has been seemingly forgotten by the Tigers because they have now put up 4 goals in less than 8 minutes in this second quarter, and they're doing it quick and they're doing it precisely.
I think the problem Acadia is suffering from right now is just a lackadaisical effort in their transitions. They're making some errant passes, and a lot of these goals by Dal have kind of been on the fast break, as you'll notice. I got to give the Acadia D credit. When they have a chance to set up, they've really kept the Tigers on the perimeter and not let them get in too close. A couple communication errors, but nothing too serious.
And look at that.
Another face-off win by Louis Martin. Truly the king of the circle.
And he'll continue on, and he'll get that ball down to Dunbar. Wasn't pretty, but it never is in lacrosse, usually.
It has its beautiful moments. There are those times when you just got to get in there.
Dubois, who likes to have the ball on his stick, sort of controls the offense from up top. He's got a great player in Jack Inglis, another player who went down to the States for high school, obviously an American himself.
Upstate New York, I believe, no?
Upstate New York, yeah. Canterbury.
Canterbury. Great lacrosse school. He's a multi-sport player.
Hockey.
Lacrosse, maybe a little bit of football if I'm not mistaken. Also, looking here on my sheet, he apparently likes yoga and long walks on the beach.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Halifax has got plenty of beaches, so I'm sure he's really settling in nice for these past couple years.
Probably one of the quickest players we got in the league here. Wow! And a Superman-esque goal by, is that Jamie Dunbar?
Oh, it is. You can't mistake that flow.
Yes. It just jumps out at you. It's that luxurious. Another great over-the-shoulder shot, and it's really tough to stop that when he gets determined.
He's wearing number 13.
Lucky number 13. All right, lining up here on the face-off, we got Steve Fife on the short side, Louis Martin, and
Charlie now.
that looks like, is that Beeswanger on the far side?
That's Charlie.
It's Charlie. Charlie now.
Who has a brother on Acadia. An older brother on Acadia, who also plays long pole. His number is...
Great pass. I was just about to say, I don't know Charlie very well, but apparently he's making an impact.
First year, now he's doing pretty quiet and practicing on the field and whatnot, but again, a talented lacrosse player. And a young people that will come up through the system and maintain the depth.
Just a great precision pass right on the stick of Dwayne Davis there. Can't be easy in close quarters like that to put that kind of accuracy on the ball when you're dealing with a long pole.
No.
It's a whole different trajectory. Do you know if he has any box experience?
I think so. Again, I don't know too much about Charlie, but it seems like he's got pretty good stick skills. So he must have played box, or he's been around that long pole for a while.
Absolutely. All right, Acadia looking to work it around. Ball in the X position.
It's a game of possession and momentum, so Acadia will look to shatter a little bit of the momentum that the Tigers have built up in the past couple of minutes and look to possess the ball for a bit.
One of the beautiful things about the game of lacrosse is that you can erase deficits like this 6-goal one we're looking at right now in a matter of minutes. So no lead is safe. If Acadia decides to turn on the heat for the rest of the game, they can definitely make a case for bringing out the win.
Yep. Mike Cowan determined not to let that happen, though.
Again, so focused.
So there's
Right.
Charlie looking to pick that ball up off the ground.
Now with a great
The
block.
Laxman will recover.
Steve Fife pressuring high.
One of the major differences between field lacrosse and box lacrosse is the player's ability to use both their hands in the game. Box lacrosse, it's more common to be predominantly skilled in one set in your good hand, but in field lacrosse, it's imperative that you work on both your forehand and your backhand, because you do get caught in situations where you need to use the right hand or the left hand, and if it's not an easy. If you aren't able to do it, it becomes a lot tougher, and you become a predictable player.
Absolutely. And speaking of hands, great pick by Matt Fitzgibbons, making up for that errant pass a little bit earlier.
Yep, and it leads to a fast break for the Tigers.
Break. Dwayne Davis. That pass is made. Very little chance he's going to make a mistake on the goal there. But we'll give this one back to the Laxmen and see if they can turn this one into a goal for their side. This transition is going to be really important, as we know this is where the Tigers have pounced on them and really changed the momentum on the score sheet.
Yeah, the Laxmen will be looking to recover from this last little onslaught of goals from the Tigers, and they get possession, and they're looking good here on a fast break. But the Tigers recover. Have not yet set up their defense, but they're looking to find their men and cover them. Acadia again will just take it back and do an offense. Upset.
Looks like a scoring opportunity here.
And unable to take get the full power on that shot as Stephen Fife gets a hand on it, or a stick on it, stick on his stick. So good defense by Fife, and but the Laxmen will recover and again have possession of the ball. Number 20 here, we have Stu MC.
Yeah, Stu MC is so much easier than trying to pronounce McClone.
Yeah, a really talented player on the Dalhousie deep pole team or defense, and you know, he's got a great stick. You don't want to pass the ball anywhere near him because he'll get it right out of the air, and again, he can make those long passes that'll lead to those Dalhousie fast breaks. And just looking at him play defense, you can tell he's intense.
Another Ontario boy coming out of All Saints Catholic School in Whitby. Seems to be the province where silk hands are made, considering the talent pool we've seen on our team.
I would agree.
But, a long defensive stand here for the Tigers, and the Laxmen really turning up the heat. Another great shot, Mikey recovering.
Here we have Akari, again, noted for his defensive talents. He'll try and bring this ball out with 3 Laxmen converging in. He switches directions, brings it out. Oh, takes a bit of a
high
head,
shot.
but there won't be a call on that. However, he gets the job done, and all credit to him for that one. He was on his own there.
Yeah, I got to give him credit. Paddy Quinn also swoops in at the last second to save the ball from going out of bounds.
Paddy will bring it up top, and he'll likely
Just dangerous from this position.
go for the dodge.
Look at the double team, drawing the defender. This is a penalty kill, though. Hoping to run the clock out a little bit.
He'll give it to Dunbar, one of the tougher guys to get the ball off of. And Dunbar will just backtrack towards the sideline, looking to kill some time and find some space.
Tempted to go in and take another one of his flying shots, but
He'll have time for that later.
there'll be plenty of time for that later.
And here we have Ricky Canning coming in for Dwayne Davis on offense. Ricky, what can you say about Ricky's work ethic and his contribution to this team so far in his 2 years?
Well, all I think it can all pretty much be summed up in his Rookie of the Year t-shirt that he was given on rookie night last year. He came in and right away was an impact, not just on the field but off. And if you watch him play, he's got a very interesting way about him. Extremely strong, very twitchy, very fast, and he'll score on you when you least expect it.
Here he is. The great Ricky Canning. Looking to unload that Canada shot he likes to bounce that ball, and obviously that's a tough throw. There's a goal for Dunbar.
Maybe Dunbar a little farther out than his usual range, or his preferred range. I mean, he's got a great accurate shot from any distance, but it's a nice shot, and he'll be happy with that one tonight.
Dan, in his last matchup against Acadia, he was missing the net all over the place. So much so that the game had to be delayed because of all the balls that they were lost because they had gone down. And if you've ever been to the Acadia field, it kind of sinks down at the edges and goes down into this sort of valley, and all the balls, which were usually lined up in the back, had to be rescued from that valley. And as it got dark, it got a little tricky. So Dunbar had a tough night that night, but he's looking to recover here, and he's again just finding the net. That's what he does.
Bounced right back.
And as we wind down to the end of the second quarter, folks stick around for the halftime show with Dan, Ross, and I, and I believe we'll be
Treated to a little dance number, no?
Yeah. As we look down to the left here in the stands, we've got a good crowd out tonight for this game, and a lot of yellow jerseys. Those are the yellow jerseys that you'll see in a couple minutes. Used to be worn by the Tigers lacrosse team up until about 3 weeks ago when, thanks to Colin Bieswanger and his management skills, the team was able to order these new sexy jerseys that they're rocking tonight, and they look good.
They definitely do. That black has an ominous presence to it, and I think the players prefer those jerseys to the yellow anyhow. Going back to the Dunbar clan, you've probably heard the name a few times tonight. I mean, Jamie's had the ball quite a bit. We mentioned Glenn, the coach. Matt Dunbar, a Dalhousie alumni, is currently playing on scholarship for a Division II school in, is it New Hampshire?
I believe it's a Division III school in North Carolina.
South North, New Hampshire. We've got it all over the map right now.
Yeah.
All over the world.
We know it's at least on the eastern part of the United States.
Anyhow, we suspect that Matt's probably watching this game as he's a huge fan of the Tigers lacrosse program, being a graduate of it. And we had the pleasure of having him back last week. He came in for a couple practices, and he was back for the American Thanksgiving weekend. Or no, not the American Thanksgiving weekend, but just kind of a break, I guess, from his school. And he came out and reconnected with the boys on the team, and it was great to have him out here.
Yeah, a defensive asset that is definitely missed. Luckily, luckily we've had some great players step up and fill his role. But, we wish him all the best down south, and we know he's having a successful career. Great player, great kid.
Great kid.
Almost out, boys. Almost fixed, boys. Another one.
Acadia just seems to be having a real tough time getting inside that perimeter that the Tigers have set up.
I thought
there you go, Stu with the big interception, which was aimed at a fast break.
Very common sight to see when we're talking about Stu. Jamie Dunbar finds the twine yet again. That's got to be 4 goals on the night.
I believe so.
Showing his versatility, working that left side.
And the Tigers have opened up this game, and now it is an 8-1 lead.
Kind of, although we're only talking about the first half, kind of a tale of 2 quarters, really. It's a complete turnaround from what we saw in the first 20 minutes.
It took a while for these Tigers to wake up here, but again, got to speak to the Laxman's first quarter play, because they were keeping up and they were doing everything right on defense. That necessitated the shutdown of the Tigers offense, and there'll be approximately 25 seconds here after this face-off. Tigers looking for a fast break. Laxman looking to put something in the net, gain a little momentum going back into the third quarter and second half.
Well, a lot can be said. That's about a 2-hour drive, is it not, to Acadia? A lot can be said about that travel. You're sitting on the bus, you get here, there's not really a change room. You got to get changed outside in the field. You don't have a chance to get properly warmed up. It seems like a case of them just dealing with the jet lag, for lack of a better term. A little bit of fatigue from the trip, and hopefully they can pick it back up next half.
The bus legs.
The bus legs, exactly.
No, but hopefully they're having a good time. I think the Tigers are having a good time. Everyone's having a good time. I'm having a good time, and now we're going to see the fine dancers at Dalhousie University come out and put on a little show here. And this is something we've been anticipating for a couple weeks now.
Indeed we have. We had to give these jerseys up to these lovely young ladies, and hopefully they'll do them proud. Oh, and there's a few young men in there as well.
Are there? Oh yeah?
Maybe just one.
Just one.
You know what though? Credit
God
to him.
bless.
Going hard.
So let's see what, any predictions for what song they might be dancing to, Dan?
No idea. No
Ross?
idea. Maybe a little bit of Kelly Clarkson, hopefully. Maybe a power ballad. Never know though. All we know is we're in for a treat.
Here we go. Again, this is something that the girls have taken quite seriously from what I've heard. They've been putting in a lot of practice for this, and I'm quite excited. Like I said, I've been anticipating this for a while.
All right. Now, is this the cheerleading squad or the dance team? Or
This is the
Dance?
dance team. Nope.
Right, yeah. We actually just picked that up at the very end. Either way, though, they've been working hard and we're in for a treat.
Personally, one of my favorite tracks.
Fans are going wild right now, people.
crowd favorite.
We got Matt Fitzgibbon's #1 fan in there, dance perform tonight.
A phenomenal performance by the Dalhousie Dance Squad.
Got me right out of my seat, and that's a hard thing to do. So.
No, definitely doing the jerseys proud, and you can't underestimate how difficult it is to really put a dance number like that together. So, thanks Dalhousie Dance Squad, and thanks for doing those jerseys proud.
Very well done.
Very.
Well done. And it seems to have fired up the Dalhousie Tigers lacrosse team. They're looking to come out here and continue a strong performance through the second half.
We'll take a quick break from the commentary here where we let halftime wind down. don't worry, we'll be back, and hopefully you guys are enjoying your night so far. All right, folks, welcome back to the second half action of tonight's game. As per usual, we'll be starting off with your traditional face-off. Now, this is an interesting time when you're running the face-off because anybody within 8 feet of the ball is fair game to be hit, and those who are not keeping their head up are vulnerable to, well, take the aforementioned hit that I just said. All right. Possession change, we're looking at the Laxmen coming up on a fast break. Great opportunity here. Number 2's wide open on the left. Number 7 takes it all the way in and his stick just hooks. Unlucky bounce, but a great effort by the Laxmen. That's the kind of effort they're going to have to bring this half if they want to close the gap. Nice defensive stop there. It's looking like Stu NC with another testament to his magic hands as they are. And ball out of bounds. Let's see who it's going to go to. And Stephen Fife to start the outlet in the breakout drill. Stu MC bringing it up to half. Looks like he's going to get rid of it to Patty Quinn. Also of note, we have a goaltending change for this half. Tristan Aguinaga is a New Brunswick boy. He's got the second best goals against average in the league. Another testament to the defensive prowess of the Dow Tigers. And grew up with Brett and Rick. And he's a first-year engineering student here as well.
Tristan grew up with fellow Tiger lacrosse players Ricky Canning and Brett. The long pole with the green helmet, wearing number 3, who I just had a little brief conversation with at the halftime there, and he said things are looking good. He hasn't seen as much field time as he would have liked, but he's respecting the fact that it is seniors night. Usually a starting figure for the Dallas Tigers, and again another personality both in practice and in the games and all the travel situations that we're in, and a good guy to be around. So.
Well, and another factor in tonight's game, you know, we got playoff championship weekend coming right up here. Neither one of these teams want to risk too much injury. Neither one of these teams want to risk getting burnt out. So they're going to try and spread around the playing time as much as possible and rest as much as they can. Jamie Dunbar just having a great night. The ball on the stick quite a bit, showing that ambidexterity.
He'll dish it off to Sam Martin, number 27.
Sam getting a good amount of playing time as a first-year player, really has solidified his role on this team. Great shot by Patty Quinn. We talked earlier about the velocity that he can put on those. And Paul Sadler will take it down low.
The wind's picked up a little bit out here, folks. Temperatures dropped, but spirit has definitely not for both these teams as they continue to go hard. And here we'll see Patty Quinn with the ball, dishing off to Dunbar, who goes behind the net. Paul Sadler, fourth year player, last regular season game. Obviously a nostalgic moment for him. And he scores!
Paul Sadler with his first goal of the season. And it's a big one. You can hear the bench go wild, and you can imagine why.
Big moment for Sadler there. He's got a lot going for him right now in his life, and hey, why not throw in a goal there?
That's a great way. If that's his last goal of his lax career, that's a great way to finish it off. He's controlled the ball well, taken good care of it, been smart with it, and nothing bad to say about Paul Sadler's play tonight.
Nope, got nothing to say. Nothing bad to say. No,
nothing bad.
An all-around great guy.
Yeah, very happy to see him have some success out there. And again, you know, you're looking at a kid who doesn't get a lot of playing time, comes on and makes something happen in the short amount of time he's been on the field. So it shows he's always ready to come in when he's called upon, and yeah, his hard work's paid off.
Face-off men will have a brief conversation. Who knows what about, but they'll get down there, and there we go.
And we're off.
And Lou puts it right in the stick of Dubois, and that's what Dubois wants. He can't make his job any more easier than that. Number 10, he'll set up in his usual style. He'll kind of slow down the pace, let everyone set up in the offense, and then he'll hopefully dish the ball around and get some movement going. Over to West.
Gardner with the ball. A quick shout out to the Gardner clan as well back home in Alberta if they happen to be tuned in at the moment. We're certainly glad to have your son, and we're taking good care of him out here on the East Coast.
And there he goes.
And with a goal.
Providing a lot of entertainment out here. He's a good guy.
Really takes
above water.
Really takes the pressure off of those attackmen as well. He comes in and people know who he is right away. And so if he wants to take the shot, it's always a great option. But if he's keyed upon, he can easily dish it off to a wide open player.
So here we are again in a familiar situation, that being the face-off. And, you know, the Tigers are really seeing the development of Lou Martin here as a face-off specialist. Sitting beside a face-off specialist here from last year, Dan Scow, who picked up a remarkable amount of ground balls for the Tigers last year and was a strong contributor to their eventual championship effort.
Well, you know, it's got to be the jersey. I'm convinced that number 21's got something special in it, and no, it was definitely a pleasure to play and contribute to the boys, and you know, hopefully we can be back next year.
Why?
So an illegal procedure call, not quite sure what happened there, or why that was called, but we'll let the Zebras get away with it that time.
Setting up the offense, we'll have John Gagne, brother of Dave Gagne, number 9, 24 coming in. There's John, got the ball now. See what he does. Dishes it off to Mitch Blaine. Mitch, another first-year player on the team.
John Gagne, another solid player, as you were saying. He comes in, he toggles between the third and second lines depending on the night and depending on the needs of the team. He's just another one of those guys you can count on taking care of the ball when he's got it and coming in and playing a good role.
And did you see Dunbar on that body position on that ground ball? He makes it look so effortless, but that's what you can do if you master that body position. You make it so that Blanco can't get his stick in there and scoop up the ball, and all you got to do is just bend over and pick it up. So
Yeah, you kind of handcuff the defenseman or whoever you're battling against for that loose ball when you get position on them like that, because though you don't have to have the ball to get hit, if you're hit from behind, it's going to be an automatic possession change in your favor.
right.
This is where the Tigers have really shone tonight. Really pressuring on the Acadia transition, forcing mistakes and getting the ball back. As shown here again, the ball's going to go out of bounds. It looks like it'll go Tigers' way.
Spoke briefly with Coach Dunbar at the half there. He wasn't happy about the first quarter, but he recognizes that the players have now settled in, and he's very pleased with the 8-goal lead that they had going into the second half. And so now that they've only increased that, I can imagine he's ecstatic.
Yeah, you can't complain with that. It's definitely been a great showing ever since that first quarter, and not to take away from the Laxmen, they've put in a great effort, and they've just had some unlucky bounce, and the Tigers are just coming on too strong, it seems. But again, you got a team that's traveled far, and they're showing that they're not going to give up. Some great physical plays we're seeing right now, and maybe a little too physical, it would seem. We'll see who's getting that penalty.
Flag down, flag down.
Big power play coming here to our own Dalhousie Tigers.
Another key difference that you'll see, and it is kind of a blessing and a curse when it comes to the power play, this difference between box and field lacrosse, that in field you got running time. So when that 1 minute penalty is called, like as just happened, it is really not so much a matter of controlling the clock as it's a matter of controlling the ball. If you can keep the ball in your hands, you can run that penalty out, or you can strike quickly and get a goal if you're on offense.
Powerful shot here by Rob Harrison.
And he's just going to rifle it in there, and strong save by number 21, Laxman goalie.
Seems to put his whole body into those shots, doesn't he?
Yep. It's a moment when you wish you had slow-mo.
You really do. Another great hit.
Jimmy wearing the
Case could be made that was from the side, but bit of a defenseless player there. They're going to rule in favor of the Laxmen.
Pretty clean to me, boys.
And as you can hear, maybe you can hear him or maybe you can't, but Brett, number 3, is just checked back in, taking off Stu, trying to keep the players warm on and off the field.
And Brett's a transfer, is he not?
Brett is a transfer. And Ross, why don't you tell us a little bit about Brett?
Brett McNeil. He's from New Brunswick. He attended St. FX University for the last 2 years playing against the Dalhousie Tigers. He has transferred to the Dal to finish his engineering degree. He's got 2 years with us here, and we're looking forward to having him.
Quite the addition considering the loss of some of the defensemen we suffered last year. He easily was one of the best defensemen on the X-Men, and we're happy to have him on the squad. Just got to get him a new helmet is all.
Very true. Here we are, some nice ball movement from the Tigers as they look to...
Oh, nice look inside.
Dunbar will pick that up one hand, and he'll look to take that right to the net, I believe.
Nice little toe drag and an underhand shot. Just showing all kinds of versatility tonight, Jamie Dunbar. He really seems to be the man of the match up until now. And it looks like he'll be subbed out as a reward for his efforts.
And in will come Ricky Canning.
Look for Ricky to put some points on the board as well. He's not afraid to unload, and he definitely likes to score.
Had a big night coming in off the bench against Acadia last time we played them. Scoring something like 5 or 6 goals, career high, at least as a member of the Tigers team for Ricky Canning, and a member of the Team Nova Scotia lacrosse program, and obviously he's just a talented player with a lot of hustle and a lot of work ethic, and an interesting kind of motion that he runs in. But
it's hard to describe, isn't it? It's kind of like a jerky, sort of a twitchy, extremely fast, spider-like movement.
Right.
Maybe Ricky the Spider Canning can be his new nickname.
There he is.
Oh, Louis just narrowly misses the pass.
Canning will get that ball, take a little heat off the back, no ball because it wasn't really that big of a deal, and
shakes it right off, and probably looking for a goal here. Chris just testing the limits of number 6 here on D.
Canning has said nice pick.
Good check by number 10 there, recovered by Ricky.
There he goes.
And unwinds. He's got that range, and he sure likes to shoot on the run. You'll notice a lot of his shots come while he's going in one direction. Interestingly, stays in off of the pylon. Number 7, nice enough to put that back in place. Looks like the ball is going black.
And Canning will take it in from the top here. He'll probably dish it off to one of the middies here.
He's got an interesting one-on-one opportunity here, though, with number 7.
Right.
But choose to get it off to Lou. Lou getting a lot of playing time tonight. I think he's really shown the coaches that he's here to play and that he deserves a solid look. And a great shot right over the shoulder of 21. Maybe he lost it in the lights. Either way, Louis gets himself on the board.
Yeah, really just a tough player to match up with defensively as a short stick, because he's got a lot of reach, so he can get that ball real far from his body, and he's obviously a strong kid who will only continue to get stronger over the next couple of years as a member of the team. So
it's still hard to believe he's only a second year. Anyone who's been around him knows that he's got a bit of an older, mature look to him, and you definitely don't want to mess with that kind of guy.
a bouncer by night.
Bouncer by night.
The lower deck.
Yeah, he moonlights as a bouncer. Great face-off win.
Look at that.
One-handed pat and a quick stick goal.
You
Huge.
see that, folks? What a.
And is that Paul Sadler with the goal?
Sweet Lou is what they call him.
Sweet Lou.
Wasn't so sweet for the Acadia goalie there, but that was a sweet dish.
I'm still trying to figure out who got that goal.
That was Sadler.
Paul Sadler with a 2-goal night, and that was quite the quick stick. Way to keep his eye on it. A great pass, great finish, highlight reel play.
I was kind of wondering what Lou was doing there, coming down with the one hand on the stick, kind of giving a little jerky shake, but, can't criticize that play after we see the result.
It's one of those. It's a high risk, high reward play. It's one of those kinds of things where if you mess it up, the coach is going to let you have it, and if it's successful, the coach is going to give you a hug. So looks like Louis back to win another face-off and reaping the benefits of his efforts.
And he'll take this draw off. Oh no, that's him, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, that is him.
Chris Dubois bringing a spark plug mentality with that big hit.
We haven't really seen too much out of Dubois yet in this game, but seen a lot of him over the past 2 years, and big contributor to the Tigers' offense. Big defensive presence there on the field.
Always high energy, always high physicality, lots of talent there. You can always expect good things from him. I don't think his night's quite over yet.
Another product of Ontario, coming out of Hamilton, Steeltown, Tiger Cats, Dalhousie Tiger.
I believe his junior team was the Tigers as well.
So he knows all about the black and yellow, I suppose, even though Tigers are more traditionally black and orange. But we'll let it slide for Tristan getting another shot on net, keeping up that goals against average.
Colin Beeswaring with the solid hands again, just that experience, that confidence. Up to Kevin McKetton, and then up to Paul Dimitrick. 2 vets up to a rookie.
There's the dish.
Dimitrick with a nice pass. Ricky Candy's going to try and track it down. It's just going to get out of his reach. Again, can't say enough good things about Kevin, the intensity he brings. We've talked a lot about all the players tonight, and they all contribute to a nice mix of a well-oiled team that everyone gets along, everyone plays hard, and everyone plays their role. Oh, some pleasantries exchanged after the whistle there on the far side. Ball still goes to Acadia for some reason.
They call it a gentleman's sport, but everyone knows a true gentleman gets into a couple altercations in their life.
True gentleman needs to assert his dominance every once in a while.
On the field, speaking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But folks, don't expect too much physicality, because physicality in this league can lead to fights, and fights lead to suspensions, and no one wants to be suspended for that game next week, next Saturday at St. Mary's. That will likely take place between these Tigers and these Laxmen.
Absolutely, and again, unlike box lacrosse, a fight, just like Dylan mentioned, is an automatic suspension in this league, whereas in box it's usually just a 5-minute penalty that will see you playing once again in the game. So
players will have to check their attitudes and just focus on for the Tigers. The focus now is to keep this lead, to keep this goal differential, as goal differential is imperative in the standings here between first place and Tigers and us.
Jack with his signature swim move, showing that quickness and showing that experience. A little bit of a low pass, but it's still recovered.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have any lifeguards here? Because there's an awful lot of swimming going on with Dunbar, Dubois, and English here.
Better check. We got a lot of people wearing red, but I'm not sure they're lifeguards.
No sunscreen, but we got a lot of eye black on these players. As mentioned, it was quite a bright day for the first quarter. Quite a bright quarter, sorry. First quarter. And the sun was gleaming right down in the eyes of the Tigers and the Laxmans. So lacrosse players, like football players and baseball players, like to put on a charcoal-like substance that you rub on just below your eyes, and it kind of
Flag will be down.
takes the glare out.
You can hear the crack.
And there's a big hack on English.
You'll notice when Jack runs and is only holding his stick with one hand that he deliberately holds his arm parallel to his body. Big goal.
Big goal.
That is very a la Rob Harrison there. That's a very traditional Rob goal.
Number 16.
Beautiful shot. In spite of the contact as well, just made his follow through either way.
Rob Killer Instinct Harrison right there.
A true Tiger at heart. Yeah, getting back to that little technicality with Jack's style of play, you'll see many field lacrosse players do it, and as far as I understand, when that hand is parallel to your body, the defenseman can't check, or can't hit you, or can't slash you or something like that. Is that right, Dylan?
That is true. As it will result in a personal foul, likely a 1-minute penalty, but that can range from 1 minute to 2 minutes to 5 minutes, I believe.
Now, if a player does have both hands on the stick, then the arm would be considered fair game for slashing or any other kind of checks, correct?
Yeah. And we'll see a one-man advantage. We had a brief two-man advantage there as the Tigers got possession off the draw, but
looks like we got a little
come back in off the back, off the butt of the blocks. And, the refs will congregate here.
So we got a little stoppage of play. What better time than the present to send a quick shout out to the Toyne family. Dylan has been a lovely commentator this evening, and we're sure grateful to have him out here.
I'd like to reciprocate that to the Scow family and the Romney family. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the commentary so far. We've tried to give you a bit of a background on some of the seniors here who will be playing in their last regular season game and their last game at Wickwire Field. So obviously a sentimental night for some people.
We've got Matt Fitzgibbons out here playing short stick now.
Interesting.
Big change for the kid. He is going to get a goal. I can feel it.
And this is something he wanted to do all year. We've seen him in practice pick up the short stick. Again, he was a big hockey player in high school. I believe he played junior. And
Ricky Canning battling for the ball and coming up with the win, I think. He won't give up. It's a messy scene when that ball is loose, as you can tell. Number 10 comes out with it. Looks like we're going to have a penalty.
Fitzgibbons will come out and he will pick up the first Tigers penalty, I believe.
Making the most of his time, getting on the stat sheet.
Yeah, and he'll take a knee there, catch up on his breath, and he'll likely be back out in the fourth quarter as it commences at the end of this.
We will certainly see him again. I understand we have some viewers from outside of the country here tonight, Dylan.
Yeah, we got some viewers in the UK, and who knows where else. But this is a connected team here. Everyone on this team's got friends. Canada, the States. We've got some Americans on the team themselves, so hopefully they got some friends and family watching the game, cheering them on from abroad. But that's the obnoxious siren that will end the third quarter. And
Indeed.
With 20 minutes to play, it's a 14-1 Tigers lead, and they don't look like they're really taking their foot off the pedal yet.
No plans to do so. Again, they may look to conserve their energy a little bit, but that's really going to be in the form of benching key players and letting other guys get out and have a crack at this game. Just a deep squad and plenty of options when it comes to looking at who to play. Again, we thank all of you who have tuned in tonight. It's been a great experience walking through this game with you. We hope you've enjoyed it. All of you have tuned in from all over the country, not the least of which is the beautiful Kirsty Shepherd. She's in Hamilton, Ontario. A Dal alumni, actually. Played 4 years of volleyball for the Tigers. Had some great AUS championship runs. And kind of a local celebrity around here. So we wish her all the best. And believe she's actually at a volleyball tournament this weekend with a team she's coaching. So keeping the sport alive and doing great things.
Fantastic. We see a lot of Dalhousie lacrosse graduates who have come back and decided to take on the role as a coach for the team in Jamie Dubray and
not Rob Harrison, Rob
Griffith.
Another Alberta boy, actually.
Great guys.
Rob actually
Great coaching.
Rob played for a while with the Finland national field lacrosse team and went to the World Championships a few years back. So he's got there's a definite lacrosse pedigree in his family, and he's carrying on the tradition quite well.
He was fast player, put up a lot of goals. He was a member of the first line of the midfield last year, and he rocked that Finland helmet quite well in this league, didn't he?
I kind of contemplated stealing it once or twice, but I would never have felt right having it in my house.
No.
Sounds like a good time to start up some lacrosse trivia. We got any questions left over there, Dylan? We'll be back with some more of that lacrosse trivia as soon as we can dig it up for you. Plenty of things to know.
Plenty of things to know, and I'll get back to you in a second. I just seem to have misplaced my trivia sheet.
Fun fact about the early stages of lacrosse, it was actually played, anciently isn't the word, but played in its beginnings as a substitute for war or a supplement to war by neighboring indigenous tribes. Oftentimes it would be played with up to 100 to 500 players on each team, and it would span the length of an entire forest. Dylan mentioned earlier that you'd have players up in trees. It wasn't always limited to one stick, and again, it was a practice to hone your skills as a warrior and to become a man. Lots of these games only went to one goal. As you can imagine, they would span as long as a week sometimes. So a rich tradition, and as Dylan mentioned earlier, oftentimes in the junior ranks, you'll still see players, especially of the Native American descent, the First Nations descent, playing with their traditional wooden lacrosse sticks, which is not only difficult, very intimidating as well. So we definitely salute all of the creators of this great game that's given so much to us and to the community, and definitely encourage any of you out there who are interested in trying it out to go ahead and give it a shot. It's quite addicting, and it's a great supplement to lots of other sports.
Golf?
Basketball, football, hockey.
Like golf is to hockey, I guess lacrosse is in essence to hockey as well. Because there are, again noted, there are a lot of hockey players out here. A lot of these Tiger lacrosse players participate in both intramural and junior leagues outside of this competition, and it's a testament to the athletic capacities of these student athletes here.
Absolutely.
So here's a little bit of a trivia question. Stephen Fife, captain of the Tigers lacrosse team here, and just a great guy all around. Wears the number 22. Which Canadian lacrosse legend wore and kind of solidified 22 as his number, and really is just a great representative of the sport within Canada and abroad.
Ooh.
Played in both the Major Lacrosse League, which is the field professional league, and then he is also a huge contributor to the National Lacrosse League. Dan, any idea?
I'll take the first crack. I'm not too well versed in lacrosse history, although I should know. Well, Major League Lacrosse history, although I should know this, but I'm gonna just guess Gary Gate.
Gary Gate, and I think the all-time leading scorer in the National Lacrosse League, but I could be wrong there. There's a couple guys who've been coming out, but we see Paul Rabel wearing 99, the Wayne Gretzky of lacrosse.
Another great player. Gate, so influential in fact that he has his own line of lacrosse equipment. Gate, you're probably familiar with it if you played the game, and if you begin playing, you'll see his stuff all over the place. True legend. All right, here's
Fitzgibbons again.
Yeah, back at it, looking to put a goal in the score sheet.
Commonly known as Fitzy.
Yeah, the organizer of many team functions.
He has his affiliation with Molson Coors, and there's just another errant pass that will result in Laxman possession. 13's probably going to look for 24 out there, if I'm correct. Yep. Makes a nice catch, and Sam Martin's on his tail, but...
Sam Martin showing some... Oh, do you think they're going to give him that offside penalty there? He stepped over the line just a little bit, and that might be where it's coming from. He showed some good awareness by slowing himself down, but yeah, looks like that is the penalty. He's just come over and decided to help. All right, you'll notice the waving motion the referee used to call that penalty there. What's that one called there, Dylan?
The waving motion there?
Yeah, what penalty was just called there for those viewers who don't know?
An offside. It's a legal procedure essentially, because like I said at the beginning of the game, you have to have at least 4 players on each side of the field. That includes the goalie. So in essence, there has to be 3 attackmen and 3 defensemen on each side. But then the midfielders are able to act in those roles in filling that requirement of numbers.
Absolutely.
So we see Sam Martin didn't step over the line, but by virtue of him stepping on the line, which is a bit of a confusing rule now because no one's really sure whether it's on the line or over the line. We see Sam Martin just stepping kind of briefly on the white line there, and that merits that penalty. And you see him come across because he's already taken the penalty and he's just coming back to help out his team on the defensive side of the ball. So, you know, a penalty that the Tigers are always trying to get rid of. Coach Dunbar hates it, you know.
It's one you'll see often in lacrosse, though, as just with the speed of the game and with as you see these transitions unfold, it's often hard to keep your footing when it's as finicky as on the line or over the line, as you mentioned.
A lot of these players will be wearing turf cleats. We are playing on turf here at Wickwire. Fortunate enough to be playing on this kind of all-weather turf, and it's held up fantastic. A lot of schools, universities, high schools, whatever, are now making that transition from grass natural turf to this artificial turf. And I mean, just with the varying weather in Halifax and in the Maritimes in general, it becomes quite difficult to play on the fields if it's grass and the rain and the slush and the frost and whatnot. So again, I'd like to thank the Dalhousie University for providing this wonderful field and trying to honor their contribution by doing good things on this field.
Yeah, giving them a winning record. You know, that weather you mentioned definitely plays, I think, its biggest toll on the mesh. Anyone who's played before knows that when that mesh gets wet, it turns into somewhat of a butterfly net, and it's where that hook, as the term is usually used, comes from.
So as the ball comes out of the head of your stick, it will kind of hook off that top shooting string and will kind of alter the projection of the ball. It's something that all lacrosse players deal with.
And loathe.
Some love the hook, live and die by the hook, some would say, and others, they detest it. So
Ricky Canning with that shifty movement, running away from his defender. That's a way to get you tired out. Try and defend Ricky Canning, I'll tell you. Stephen Fife looking to maybe get on the score sheet here. It'd be a great way to finish off his lacrosse career in his final quarter. Let's go with a good shot, well aimed, but just off the mark. Paul Sadler, though, there to get us the possession back.
I'd love to see the Tigers enact their circle offense and just get some motion going around the net. That's one thing we haven't really seen too much of in this game. In watching a lot of lacrosse, I find that just by circling around the net, by virtue of the passing and whatnot, it can really kind of put the defenses into a bit of a lackadaisical or sleepy, kind of a hypnotic sort of a thing. And then you make a quick dodge, and all of a sudden the ball's in the back of the net, and the defense didn't even know what happened. So
absolutely, and then the defense also runs the risk of maybe even overplaying on that kind of cycle offense you just described, in which case they get tired, and it has the same advantage. It opens up the door for a quick dodge and an easy goal. That is one thing that Dalhousie, in spite of all their talent and athleticism, perhaps tends to shy away from sometimes. Is really moving the ball around. Again, but when you're dealing with such talented scorers and when anyone can score at any time, it's tough to resist, I think, sometimes putting that golden shot on the net. 100%.
That sums it up. So we'll see Paul Sadler. He's been enjoying his playing time here tonight. 2 goals. One off a beautiful assist from Lou Martin.
Possibly the most impressive of all of the seniors tonight, I must say. He's come out and really played impact.
Big goal there for Mitch Blaine, a rookie. Putting numbers on the board tonight.
If I'm not mistaken, he is probably 3 seconds off the bench there before he scored, hey? I think he just came right from the sideline, took the ball, got the job done, and there he's heading back off. Well done, Mitch.
Well, 70 minutes have gone by so far. We're coming upon the final 10 minutes of this fourth quarter, and for those of you watching and thinking, wow, this is quite a long game in terms of 20-minute quarters. Usually in field lacrosse it is 15 minutes, but in the Maritime University Field Lacrosse League they do not stop the clock, so they allow 4 full 20-minute quarters. And you know, I think all these players enjoy the bit of a longer game.
That gives you a chance to savor it a little more.
Yeah, for sure.
Should be noted there is no stoppage time like you'll see in soccer, which is a similarly long game with a clock that doesn't stop, so nothing added on to the end.
Nope. And
All right. Rob Harrison with another classic shot, just a howitzer from the sidearm. Tough to see from the goalie's point of view, and
Big goal there for Rob.
you got to admit too, I mean, imagine yourself from the goalie's point of view. Rob, he releases that shot almost from a cradling position. It doesn't get cocked back or anything, so you kind of never know when it's going to come out of his stick. It makes him a real deadly asset, and you always got to look out for him.
some college football obviously characterizing a lot of these Saturday afternoons and nights for a lot of us, as it's obviously one of the more interesting college football, college sports to watch. We got University of Southern California taking on Arizona right now in a classic Pac-10 matchup. USC, nationally ranked 9th team in the country, up 28-13 with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. We've got Texas Tech getting manhandled by Kansas State, 41-17.
Oh.
Ohio beating.
On the back.
Ohio, 24th ranked team, is losing to Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio obviously having that recent scandal with the rape posters, which we will not talk about on air, but if you'd like to find out a little bit more about that, kind of a strange and very disturbing dilemma going on over there. And number 2, nationally ranked Florida and Georgia, and the big matchup of the weekend. It's obviously a close game, 10-6. Georgia's leading them with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. And other than that, nothing really, not much going on this afternoon, but some big games coming up tonight. South Carolina and Tennessee. Tennessee's obviously having quite a difficult season so far. Oh, sorry, this game is already finished, and South Carolina beat Tennessee by 3 points, 38-35. So just updating you a little bit on the college football that's going on this fantastic Saturday afternoon, October the 27th or 8th or whatever. And big week, Halloween festivities coming up, but bigger week of practice and coming up for the Tigers and the Laxmen as they look to kind of fine-tune their skills here in this last week of preparation and again, championship weekend.
A week of festivities for the rest of the city is going to be a week of focus and practice for both of these squads. And definitely a big, exciting weekend. Hopefully we can broadcast you some of the action coming up. Championship weekend, it's going to be a great and exciting time. And we hopefully can see you there.
Tigers looking to retain possession of that humongous trophy that is awarded to the championship team of this league. And right now, I'm not really sure where the status of that trophy is, but I would imagine it's somewhere locked up in a deep, dark room in SMU. And you know,
I'm sure it's had just a great vacation since last championship.
I can attest that it's in Rob Harrison's living room.
Oh, it is.
Oh, we like to talk to her every day and will for the next year.
That's wonderful.
Well, I'll have to come by at some point and say hello to it.
An excellent high level of confidence shown by Ross Romney on that front. Predicting perhaps another championship effort this year.
Ross Romney's gentle hands have been bringing you a clear, nice stream of wonderful lacrosse Saturday night. And how do you do it, Ross? Do your hands get cold, or are you wearing gloves? Or?
Well, my hands are doing all right. It's my first time with the video camera.
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it.
We're trying to get some good shots of the boys here for the families.
Again, we'd like to
big
thank...
hello to everyone who is watching.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you said it best. Just we'd like to thank all the families, all the people who have supported all the players on this team.
All the fans that are out here tonight, stands are full
Yep.
to the brim.
Pretty good showing. Seem to be getting more and more fans every year. The program is growing. I would say the league is growing in general.
And the two big university leagues, obviously, in Canada are I guess, the CUFLA, which is the central, like the Ontario and Quebec universities. And last year, Bishop's University from Quebec came over as the championships of that league, and they came and played the Dalhousie Tigers, and it was a close matchup. I think the Tigers went down by 5 or 6 goals, but hopefully something similar will happen this year in the spring, because everyone loves a little spring lacrosse. And Dalhousie's really just looking for some strong competition that they find in St. Mary's and in St. FX, but these programs, if Acadia and Mount Allison continue to develop the way they are, then hopefully it'll be a much tighter league in the next couple of years than it has been.
Absolutely. All right, coming down to the last 6 minutes, 45 seconds of this matchup. It's been a pretty one-sided tilt so far. Acadia would definitely love to put another goal up on the score sheet before this game ends, and I'm sure Dal wouldn't mind doing the same. We got Jack English showing those wheels again. That wind really picking up too. You can only imagine that those players on the Acadia sideline who haven't been able to get in quite as much, and same with the Dow players, must be feeling a little bit chilly right now.
And here you are, Stephen Fife looking wind up. Oh, he'll hesitate, pause, he'll split the D, and he'll come right in, and he'll
Going
fire.
for a shot. Ooh, just
miss.
wide. Great effort.
Great effort.
Way to split the D, Steve. We love you, we will miss you, and we're confident you'll be able to get a goal before the end of the game.
I'm confident I'll see him around next year.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those players you could definitely see coming back and helping coach the team afterwards.
Stephen Fife is a big help with the program. He's involved since the incarnation of the league. And he is a gentleman and a scholar.
Truer words have not been spoken this evening. Ricky Canning again, just in the mix. Not afraid to sacrifice the body for the greater good.
And the Tigers have been all over those ground balls tonight, making a real big difference in terms of possession.
No, we ran out.
John,
We're not a... memory or what?
No. I think we might be out of... I think it stopped recording or something. I think we might be out.
It's saying end on here now. I just started flashing.
Oh, we're still going. It just says it's not recording here, so...
Okay.
That's all right.
We're still live, yeah. It's just not recording.
Well, we thought we were having some technical difficulties there, but that disaster was averted. Looks like we're still live. Hopefully we still have you with us. Steve Fife with an opportunity here. Oh! The post!
Of course, Stephen Fife has hit 11,000 posts this year.
Perhaps a fitting finish to the season with one more post. Maybe he's aiming for those posts.
I think so.
Which would be harder than scoring in reality.
Well, he's wearing that, obviously that aforementioned 22. Highly sought after number.
Yeah, definitely his. The seniority and the skill level makes it no question. Ricky Canning letting go a shot as well. Everybody anxious to get on the score sheet in this last regular season game.
And Paul Siles will dish it to Sam Martin here.
Because it's not on the camera. Yeah, because it's not a...
You're not using any longer on the camera.
Okay. Well, it was because it was recording here. It was going up to 1 hour, 1 hour 33. And it stopped. See? It was going up.
Great clear here by number 8 of the Laxman. Hopefully you're able to see that at home. shout out to the families of the Laxman players.
Yeah,
Hopefully the word came to them and they were able to watch this game, although not the best result for their kids and whatnot. But it's just great to see the lacrosse taking place, field lacrosse out here in the coast. And
we do apologize to those Acadia fans. We definitely haven't been able to talk about them quite as much as the Tigers. We simply don't know as much about them, but we're definitely grateful they came down. And like Dylan said, just great to see a good game, a good clean game with a lot of class and a lot of mutual respect here. And speaking of the Acadia Laxmen, if I'm not mistaken, those of you who are looking for a little more lacrosse action this weekend, I believe that they're back in action again tomorrow against SMU. Yeah, that's going to be 2 o'clock p.m. at the Raymond Field in Wolfville. So that'll sure be a good matchup as well. And maybe the Laxmen can avenge this loss and pick up one last win before heading into the postseason. Flag down.
Rob Harrison, he plays to the whistle.
Showing
Charlie
that
with a nice
aggression.
interception, but that's just going to stop the play.
Charlie's been very impressive tonight, just solid, doesn't look like a rookie whatsoever. And that's been one of, I think, the overarching characteristics of this team. Everyone has come in and played confidently. I think the leaders have helped them settle in nicely. And everyone's just committed to the cause. It's great to see.
I know Charlie's parents will be watching tonight. Both of their sons out here for this epic battle.
We got brothers playing on the same team, we got brothers playing against each other, but really we're all brothers out here on the Lax field. And with a minute and 15 seconds left, hopefully we don't see any signs of disrespect between the two and any fights or anything like that. Let's just have a nice clean finish, and we'll do the same for the broadcast.
Well, gentlemen, you know there's going to be some animosity here. Going into the postseason, these guys are going to have a match next weekend, and there will be blood.
There will be blood. The only one who won't be there will be Daniel Day-Lewis. And the Laxton will probably just control this ball at the end, hopefully get 1 or 2 shots on.
Some comments coming from the Acadia bench, not too happy with their passing. And again, Tristan just standing tall in nets. Hasn't seen a lot of action this half, but he's certainly made the most of his time in net. Chris Arcari showing some good ball control. And maybe Colin Bieswanger can finish off his career with a defensive goal. It's a great pass, just barely mishandled there.
I say, we know Christian Ascari out there, interesting fact, calls his stick Nelly. It's his girl.
Lovely.
Well, after tonight's performance, he may have a couple other girls. It'd be tough to find one named that.
Well, folks,
that'll do it for our broadcast. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Dan Scow.
Dylan Toyne.
Ross Romney.
It's been a pleasure.
Have a great evening. Happy Halloween to everyone.
Oh, what's going on here? The game may not be over.
Oh, there was an error with the time on the clock.
Don't start those Halloween festivities just yet.
We got a game still.
Not sure how much time they're going to put on the clock, or if they're even going to do that, or just count it, the referees in their heads.
You know, I bet these Tigers are excited to go out and celebrate this victory. A couple Mountain Dews having tonight.
Oh, absolutely. As per usual, the Mountain Dew seems to be the drink of choice of the Dalhousie Tigers.
I had a cup of Mountain Dew actually right before the game.
And
there, Stu's going to finish it off for the boys. Give a big shout out to Stu.
Stu MC of the Dalhousie Tigers with a great performance. The Acadia Laxmen came out, gave a great challenge, worked hard, couldn't ask for anything more.
Way to go.
Of course, we got Tristan there, 0 goals against tonight for the kid.
What's that?